On a Saturday afternoon in late fall, the crowd at the crossroads in front of the hospital is bustling. The rain that fell all morning had stopped. Young women wearing short woolen skirts and leggings, and high school boys with their shirt sleeves rolled up, holding basketballs and cola cans in their hands, brush by you, their bodies exuding a strong scent of fragrance and sweat. In order to avoid the part-time sales rep holding a plastic basket full of cosmetics samples and smiling superficially with her eyes, you glance down before you pass her. You quickly descend into an underground passage under construction. You pass by a discount cell phone store. You walk upstairs that never seem to end. You keep forgetting where you were just a while ago, what treatment you got, and where you were headed. After emerging from the underground passage, you stop. You're distracted by the beat of the music pouring out of an electronics store, its door wide open, and the deafening noise from excavators incessantly digging into asphalt. Suddenly, you come to and check to see if the antibiotics are still in the front pocket of your laptop bag. You've already forgotten how much you liked witty jokes and how much you cared about your appearance. You've already forgotten that you always wore shoes with heels because you're short, that you like to wear bright-colored, free-spirited clothes, that you wore mostly white and yellow scarves, and that you always wore a faint playfulness in your downward slanting eyes. Wearing a black turtleneck sweater, a black woolen jacket, black cotton pants, and black shoes, you look as small as an upper-level elementary school student. Because you aren't even wearing lip gloss, let alone makeup, you look exactly your age, over 30. Your ankles were burned 5 days ago, the day after you sprained your left ankle. Although you hadn't sprained your ankle badly enough to need acupuncture, you still went to an oriental clinic in your neighborhood. You said to the 50-something herbal doctor, who was wearing a tastefully modernized traditional Korean dress, "I sprained my right ankle before, but ignored it. It still hasn't healed completely. This time, I sprained my left ankle, so I'd like to take good care of it." The herbal doctor had you lie on the bed and applied acupuncture to both your left and right ankles. "Why do you have such dark circles under your eyes?" she asked. "I'm tired." "How did you sprain your ankle?" "I was in the mountains." The herbal doctor aimed red-hot lights at your ankles with a needle stuck in them and called the nurse. The nurse will cauterize the areas with moxa. If we cauterize them with the right-sized grain of moxa, even the chronic pain will disappear. The herbal doctor took out a felt tip pen and made a dot on the ligament under each of your ankle bones. "This will be very hot because it's direct cauterization. It's going to be quick. You're fine with that, right?" Without any apprehension, you answered, "Yes." You learned for the first time that day that the kind of cauterization that puts a burning mass of moxa on top of the wound until the skin underneath is burnt is called direct cauterization. Although you tried very hard to endure the pain, you screamed. The nurse, like a kind executioner, comforted you, saying, "It's okay. It will be over before you know it." You kept on moaning while your left ankle was burned. You suddenly realized that the moaning escaping your throat sounded exactly like your elder sister's. The nurse was confounded by your tears that kept flowing endlessly and quietly as if from a faucet someone forgot to turn off completely. Your tears didn't stop while you were fumbling to put on your socks and shoes, paying for the treatment with a credit card, and walking toward an elevator after leaving the Oriental Clinic. Immediately after you had visited the clinic, you were completely absorbed in your work. Since you had been away unexpectedly for 4 days, you had a lot to catch up on. You wrote the scripts for radio programs, wandering from libraries to cafes, shifting from shoulder to shoulder your 2-kilogram laptop whose motherboard could die at any minute. Whenever you couldn't keep your eyes open, you drank coffee, talked with program guests on your red-hot cell phone, and oversaw recordings without leaving your seat in front of the computer in the studio. You didn't realize all along a blister was forming on that cauterized spot on your left ankle, that it burst inside your sock and the area was becoming infected and swollen. Whenever you felt the stinging pain, you simply assumed it was because you sprained your ankle. When on Saturday morning you finally couldn't stand the pain anymore and rolled down your sock to the top of your foot in the recording room, you realized that it was quite serious. After glancing at your wound, the hot-tempered producer asked you what happened, and his jaw dropped when he heard. "Miss Jung, my goodness, how could you be so ignorant? You should have known better." "Don't you know, a burn should be taken care of right away, no matter how small it is? Do you think you couldn't lose a hand or a foot?" Now you're leaning against the transparent acrylic wall of the bus stop. You absent-mindedly read the colorful letters of an advertisement for a neighborhood cosmetic surgery clinic stuck on the acrylic wall. Do you think you won't mind the string-thin ring if it's from your lover? Oh, don't you envy a carat-sized diamond? The beginning of a new life. Grand Cosmetic Surgery Clinic. You can't understand it and read it again, this time more slowly. After staring at the 2 question marks and 2 exclamation marks, you lift your face. What number is it? In order to revive a simple memory, you knit your brows. What number bus should you take home? You believe you can recognize the familiar number once the bus appears, but you keep on staring at more than 10 buses with different numbers as they stop and leave. This never happened before. All numbers look strange. All numbers conspire to push you away. Then you realize you can't remember the number of the bus that will take you to your studio because you are feeling compelled to go to your parents' house, knowing it would be better for you to do that. You know that you have to visit your parents this weekend to comfort them. Even if you don't make any effort to comfort them, you, their remaining child, will comfort them just by being there. But you're trying not to do that. You want to be alone.